or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Hello, this is Patricia, and for the next hour, I'll be reading from the February 20th issue of the Tribune Sentinel, covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Starting with the front page of the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. Lewiston Police Department looking into tech to help get ahead of potential problems, by Joshua Maloney. Lewiston Police Department Chief Michael Salata is researching technology designed to provide officers a faster, safer look into potentially problematic situations. One of the vendors that we work with some of our equipment, is offering an opportunity to demo some new technology. It's called Drone as the First Responder. It's where we're able to remotely launch a drone into the area to get an overview of what's going on before officers are going to arrive, he told the Village of Lewiston Board of Trustees at Tuesday's monthly meeting. The plan would be to utilize that during the summer months, during our festivals and our concert season, as an opportunity to demo it, see how it works, free of charge to our department. What they're looking for is a nice municipality building with a flat roof. Such a site, like the red brick municipal building on South 4th Street, would offer an opportunity for us to try the technology. Last October, Flock Safety announced its Flock Alpha, a drone it stated is National Defense Authorization Act approved, made in the U.S., and equipped with 4 cellular modems. It provides extended range and reliable coverage across an agency's jurisdiction. Alpha is purpose-built for emergency situations and public safety, combining rapid response capabilities with extended flight endurance and advanced cameras capable of reading a vehicle license plate from 2,000 feet away, Flock Safety's press release noted. Able to reach up to 60 miles per hour speeds, Alpha is the fastest drone built for DFR, which is Drone as First Responder operations. It boasts the longest flight time of any DFR quadcopter drone and can be ready to fly again in less than 90 seconds with its dual battery swapping and contact charging dock. Salata said the drone system could be used at events including the Northwest Jazz Festival and Niagara County Peach Festival. Deputy Mayor Vic Ide inquired about public response. We had a man-controlled drone up during many of the festivals last year, and usually they're high enough people don't realize they're, Salata said. We had a few opportunities during the Jazz Fest where situations were happening and getting officers there takes a few minutes. This would get us something overhead that we can view within 10 to 15 seconds. Ide also asked about using grant money to purchase a drone. That would be the goal, Salata said. If we like the technology, we have a grant for it. And if we're awarded it, we would continue it. Salata said the drone would take up minimal space on the red brick roof. It's a small device, and it's covered. It automatically opens, and then it launches it. We would control it from a computer or a cell phone to be able to see the video. You could have somebody in the tower on festival grounds who is able to get that over there. Some of the bigger cities are actually using it for actual calls. This would be more for our festivals and busy season. The town of Lewiston and Niagara County Sheriff Office already partner with Flock Safety for vehicle monitoring cameras. Salata previously said these cameras are not used to track speed, but rather to help the LPD with investigations. Festival dates approved. Speaking of festivals, village trustees approved the following event dates. The Smelt Festival, May 22nd. Northwest Jazz Festival, August 28th to the 29th. Harvest and Hops Festival, September 26th to the 27th. Lewiston Christmas Walk, December 5th through the 6th, and Lewiston Lights Parade, December 6th. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. State funding for Town of Lewiston receives mixed reviews. On Tuesday, Governor Kathy Hochul announced more than $240 million in tax credits and subsidies was awarded to create and preserve 1,800 affordable modern homes in 27 housing developments across New York. The awarded projects included housing with supportive services and accessibility features. They are intended to incorporate sustainability measures to keep costs down for residents and help address climate change. Moreover, these developments will provide homes for people of all ages and phases of life, strengthen communities, and further local economic development efforts. Among the awards, $6.2 million was designed for Sanborn Square in the town of Lewiston for construction of a 50-unit garden-style affordability housing project developed by Park Grove Development, LLC. Town of Lewiston Supervisor Steve Broderick said, "The town recognizes the need for affordable housing. However, I have concerns that Sanborn is being overrun with these types of projects. Right now, there are 3 affordable housing projects in the Sanborn area. One in Lewiston that was just awarded $6.2 million, one in the town of Wheatfield, and one in the town of Cambria, all with Sanborn mailing addresses. I personally don't believe the infrastructure exists to support all of these projects. There are also concerns with transparency from the developers. As of right now, the only thing the town can do is make sure that the project is built according to code, as the property is zoned properly for this development." The funding is part of Hochul's $25 billion 5-year housing plan, which is on track to create or preserve 100,000 affordable homes statewide, according to her team. The housing crisis won't solve itself. If we want New York to remain a place people can afford to call home, we have to act with urgency, Hochul said. That means building more housing in every region and making targeted investments to expand affordable homes for people of all ages and phases of life, including working families, seniors, and people living with disabilities. The awards are provided through New York State Homes and Community Renewal's annual low-income housing tax credit competitive funding round. Financing includes $66 million from its federal and state low-income housing tax credit programs and $176 million in subsidy loans. When combined with private funding, the projects are expected to generate $1 billion in overall investment. More than half of the awarded projects will also receive support from agencies including the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, that's NYSER-DA, Empire State Development, Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, and Office of Mental Health. Hochul's team noted the projects will all achieve highest levels of carbon reduction, with some projects receiving funding through HCR's multifamily solar program that funds the installation of on-site solar arrays, as well as some projects receiving funding for electrification upgrades through HCR's Clean Energy Initiative. Both programs are funded in partnership with NYSERDA. These investments complement New York's mission to address climate change by decreasing emissions 85% by 2050. HCR Commissioner Ruth Ann Wisniewska said New York is committed to building more affordable housing, and this $240 million investment will provide 1,800 individuals and families the opportunity to find modern and sustainable homes they can afford in every region of the state. These projects show that our commitment to housing goes hand in glove with our commitment to the environment and to improving accessibility. U.S. Senator Charles Schumer said every family in New York deserves a safe and affordable place to call home. I'm proud that the federal low-income housing tax credit that I worked hard to protect and expand has delivered millions to help preserve or build 1,800 homes in every corner of the Empire State. High housing costs are a key driver of inflation. So we must build more housing for working people to bring down those high prices. Congressman Tim Kennedy said, I applaud this bold investment in New York's housing stock, which will help deliver over 100 new affordable homes across Western New York. These developments will provide families, seniors, and residents with safe, modern, and energy-efficient housing in every region of our state. This historic investment builds a stronger and more sustainable future for Western New York and cements our state as a leader in the fight to end the housing crisis. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. Nowicki touts TOPS programs by Karen Carr Keefe. Lisa James Nowicki wants the TOPS shopping experience to be top-notch for her fellow Grand Islanders. She's the new store manager for TOPS Friendly Markets at 2140 Grand Island Boulevard, and she has the community at heart. Nowicki noted there are scholarships available for TOPS employees once they've been on the job for a year. This includes students who work at TOPS or parents or grandparents who can have their kids or grandkids apply to receive scholarships. 2 student employees from the Grand Island store are already applying for college scholarships through TOPS. TOPS and the United Food and Commercial Workers, UFCW, union that represents the employees work together on the scholarship program. TOPS also is proactive in recruiting people to pursue a career path with the company, Nowicki said. I can't wait to get into the high school to talk to the seniors about the career path. I started with TOPS in 1992 when I was at Grand Island High School, she explained. I went to UB after high school and my mind was set on one direction. Opportunities for TOPS kept coming to me, and that was not my chosen field. So this was a complete redirect when I was younger. And you know what? It really worked out well for me. John Persons is the Chief Operating Officer for the Northeast Grocery Incorporated, NGI, the parent company of TOPS. But he started as a cashier when he was in high school. The president of TOPS, Ron Ferry, the same thing. The NGI websites note Ferry, who began his career at TOPS as a produce clerk in 1989, has served in store-level and executive management positions during his 34 years with TOPS. Nowicki said both of Ferry's kids also work for TOPS. It's a family organization, she said. At one point, all my cousins worked for TOPS, and my sister. Everybody's moved up and moved through, and I would love to get the opportunity to speak to high schoolers about it. Trade school might not be your jam, and college may not be your jam, but there are other ways to proceed and become something with your life, I think. Women in retail is a huge market right now. Teach, train, develop is one of the very big mantras that my boss and my boss's boss are teaching us now. I love to promote from within, so come in and give me a chance. Tell me what you want to be when you grow up, and I will help you to get to that goal. You can make a great living through TOPS, and they pay for your education as you move through if you choose to pursue education in business. TOPS in Education Program. Nowicki said there's another program that TOPS uses to help young people on Grand Island. Things that you buy at TOPS will be put forward toward the schools in the community, she said. We're leaving thousands of dollars on the table, and it's really easy. When you shop here and you use your bonus card, as long as you've signed up for TOPS in Education, you pick one of the schools on the island. When you buy specific products, TOPS put money into an account that will go to that school. cost-saving, and healthy choices. Nowicki said it's important to educate consumers about how to get the most out of their hometown supermarket. She said Tops has programs to help shoppers save money and find healthy and affordable foods. One of these is the Flash Food program, which Nowicki said few shoppers are even aware of. I think that if I could meet with everybody on the island and download the Flash Food app, that's a huge thing that nobody understands or is aware of right now, and that's a huge money saver, she said. Nowicki explained it's a program that was set up to help reduce the amount of unused food that needlessly goes into landfills every year. Tops finds ways to make good use of those foods, she said. In Flash Food, every day, we post at least $100 worth of product that can be purchased at great savings by shoppers or donated to food pantries. Nowicki said it's product that may be dented or dinged that's still good, but we don't put it on the shelf. It's product that could be going out of the date soon. It's some of the bakery products that goes out a little bit sooner than others, but they're marked down to a ridiculously low cost. The Flash Food website says people can save from 50 to 60% on items purchased within the program. I know a lot of people who purchase the cereal from Flash Food, then donate it to the Grand Island Neighbors Foundation, Nowicki said. To participate, Nowicki said go on the app, buy the products on the app, then come into the store and pick them up. The Flash Food app is available for iOS or Android. Find out more at flashfood.com. Helping the community. We work one-on-one in this store with the Neighbors Foundation in Grand Island. They come and pick up multiple times a week, Nowicki said. The food goes to them at no cost, and they donate it out to those in need. Tops Grand Island also works in a similar way with Feed More Western New York, which receives Tops perishable foods for free if those items don't sell through Flash Food. The perishable food goes in the freezer until transferred to Feed More. Tops also sell produce boxes every day at the reduced price of $5. For example, if someone is going to make an apple pie, they don't need each apple to be picture perfect. It's the taste that counts, and shoppers can buy them for much less, she explained. The mission for Tops is we're a homegrown business, and we want to be your local neighborhood business. We want to help with all the community things you guys would like us to help with, Nowicki said. You're listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. New Resources to Help Town of Niagara Combat Harsh Winter by Benjamin Joe. 2 snowplows, a Peterbilt single-axle plow truck, and a Peterbilt tandem plow truck will be added to the Town of Niagara's highway garage following Town Board approval at Tuesday's regular business meeting. Supervisor Sylvia Virtuoso said we desperately need the new equipment. It's been a rough winter, Virtuoso explained. The 2 that we are replacing are from 1999 and 1985. They have served as well, but their parts are no longer available, and the cost of constantly fixing them and getting them towed is exceeding their worth. With the Town of Niagara having paid off ancillary debt, Virtuoso noted the snowplow's $698,000 bond is less of a concern. In other news, the Town Board announced $700,000 will be bonded to replace 365 feet of sewer line on Military Road by Wegmans Grocery Store and several additional Town of Niagara businesses. If we don't replace it, we close down all the businesses in the area, Virtuoso said. We've been working it overnight in freezing conditions, pumping it, trying to maintain it as well as we can until the work can be done. Virtuoso said there is no one single explanation as to why the sewer line has malfunctioned, perhaps because of age or the increase of traffic along Military Road. The specific cause is unknown. Councilman Mike Lee, who is also liaison between the town board and the Town of Niagara Police Department, was not at Tuesday's regular business meeting, but a resolution was approved in his absence to place him on the TNPD's active roster. Lee is a retired City of Niagara Falls police officer. Whether the retirement will be permanent is not certain. This action, therefore, will keep his certifications current, so if retirement doesn't agree with him, Lee will be able to use those certifications to acquire additional employment as a police officer. Continuing with the February 20th Tribune Sentinel. NMAC celebrates groundbreaking of $6.3 million BOWST project at Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station. The Niagara Military Affairs Council, NIMAC, joined military leaders, elected officials, and community partners on Tuesday to celebrate the groundbreaking of the $6.3 million BOWST training project at the Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station, NFARS, a milestone made possible through years of sustained advocacy and collaboration. The new training capability allows airmen to complete critical requirements on site, eliminating the need for costly travel and reducing time away from mission responsibilities. In addition to strengthening readiness, the system positions NFARS as a destination for visiting units, bringing added economic activity to Niagara County through lodging, dining, and local spending. This project is a clear example of what sustained advocacy and strong partnerships can accomplish, said Mike Zimmerman, chairman of the Niagara Military Affairs Council. NIMAC has worked alongside military leaders and our federal delegation for many years to help move projects like this forward. Today's groundbreaking reflects the strength of a community that understands the importance of supporting its installation and the airmen who serve here. The $6.3 million military construction investment supports both operational efficiency and the long-term strategic value of NFARS, priorities NIMAC champions through ongoing advocacy efforts. The success of this project demonstrates the power of collaboration between military leadership, elected officials, and community advocates, Zimmerman added. NIMAC remains committed to ensuring Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station continues to grow, modernize, and serve as an enduring asset for Western New York and our nation. Continuing with the February 20th Tribune Sentinel, YBPA Planning for Big 2026 by Terry Duffy. The Youngstown Business and Professional Association got down to business February 10th at its winter membership meeting at Ray's Tavern in Porter. Attendees learned more about local happenings planned for 2026, including the annual Orion St. Patrick's Day Parade, leading off at noon Saturday, March 14th on Main Street, and YBPA's 15th Beginning of Summer Street Dance and Car Cruise set for 6 p.m. Thursday, June 25th. One notable occasion was revealed by Robert Emerson, Executive Director of the Old Fort Niagara Association. He discussed the site's involvement in the nation's 250th anniversary celebrations taking place this summer. The Niagara County celebration is going to take place at Old Fort Niagara, which is, of course, the only thing that was here in 1776, Emerson said. The big celebration is going to be on August 1st. That is when the final signers of the Declaration of Independence sign that document. We decided not to do anything on July 4th weekend because everything's going on July 4th weekend, so we're going with August 1st. Emerson offered attendees a glimpse into what would be in store for the memorable event: a potential visit by the Fort Drum Army Band, and an all-county-wide high school band evening performance to be directed by colonial music experts Dave and Ginger Hildebrand of Annapolis, Maryland. They're big time, Emerson said, and we're planning an afternoon drone light show, an after dark drone light show taking over the fort. The plan is the evening program will be free and open to the public, and the drone light show should be really cool. We're working with a company out of California called Skyworks, and they have done drone light shows for the Super Bowl, so they're absolutely top-notch people. Emerson said OFN has been working with the Niagara County Legislature and state officials on securing funding as plans move forward for the summer celebration. It's going to be free and open to the public. We've been working with Niagara County Emergency Services because we're expecting a lot of people, he said. That's what's going on for the 250th in Niagara County. More information on Fort Niagara is available at www.oldfortniagara.org. For additional details on YBPA happenings, visit the association's website, www.youngstownnewyork.com, or its Facebook pages. Continuing with the February 20th Tribune Sentinel, law enforcement investigating murder. On February 14, 2026, at approximately 5:14 p.m., officers with the Lewiston Police Department were dispatched to a residence on Buffalo Street in Sanborn for a welfare check on a female resident. Upon arrival, officers located a deceased female inside the residence. The victim was identified as Alexis Skoklas, 35, of Sanborn. She was pronounced dead at the scene. As a result of the investigation, Lance L. Woods, 53, was arrested and charged with one count of murder in the second degree. Woods was processed and transported to the Niagara County Jail to await arraignment on the charge. The Lewiston Police Department was assisted in this investigation by the Niagara County Sheriff's Office, Niagara Falls Police Department, the Niagara County District Attorney's Office, Cheektowaga Police Department, Buffalo Police Department, and the New York State Attorney General's Office of Special Investigations. Buffalo Police Interim Commissioner Craig Macy said at approximately 1 a.m. Sunday, the Buffalo Police 911 dispatch lieutenant was contacted by the Lewiston Police Department in connection with a homicide in Niagara County. Lewiston Police were seeking the location of off-duty Buffalo Police Officer Lance Woods. Buffalo police detectives worked in coordination with Lewiston Police, sharing resources to support the apprehension of Woods, including using investigative resources to attempt to locate the vehicle Woods was believed to be driving. Woods has subsequently been arrested and charged with murder. Pursuant to New York State Executive Law Section 70-B, governing officer-involved deaths, the case has been referred to the New York Attorney General's Office of Special Investigations, OSI. Buffalo Police will continue to coordinate with OSI to support their ongoing investigation. The Buffalo Police Internal Affairs Division is also in the process of reviewing the timeline of events of this rapidly evolving situation. New York Attorney General Letitia James announced Woods was arraigned Sunday by Town of Somerset Justice of the Peace Pamela Ryder, who presided over the proceedings in Niagara County's centralized arraignment part. Woods was remanded into custody. Pursuant to New York Executive Law Section 70-B, the Attorney General's OSI assesses every incident reported to it where a police officer or a peace officer, including a corrections officer, may have caused the death of a person by an act or omission. Under the law, the officer may be on duty or off duty, and the decedent may be armed or unarmed. Also, the decedent may or may not be in custody or incarcerated. If OSI's assessment indicates an officer caused the death, OSI proceeds to conduct a full investigation of the incident. The OAG would like to thank the Town of Lewiston Police Department, the Niagara County Sheriff's Office, the City of Niagara Falls Police Department, the Niagara County District Attorney's Office for their partnership. Criminal charges are merely accusations, and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless found guilty at trial or by plea in a court of law. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel, covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th, Erie County Sheriff's Office report. The following Grand Island response activity occurred Thursday, February 5th to Wednesday, February 11th, according to the Erie County Sheriff's Office. EXO deputies responded to 219 calls for the week of this report. During this period, deputies conducted multiple vehicle/traffic stops. Deputies also responded to 6 business burglary alarms, 4 residential alarms, 4 welfare checks, 1 domestic/unknown trouble call, 5 property damage only accidents, 12 citizen assist calls, 3 fire alarms response calls, 3 suspicious person calls, 1 order of protection violation served, and handled several first aid calls. The following is a small sampling of the noteworthy incidents on Grand Island. Thursday, February 5th, Grand Island Boulevard, larceny. Complainant reports a house key and a car key were both stolen out of an unlocked vehicle. Police report an investigation. February 6th, Friday, Parkview Drive, assist. Complainant reported an attempted phone scam. The complainant did not suffer any financial loss. Saturday, February 7th, Bedell Road, noise complaint. Complainant reported loud music in the area. Deputies located the offender and the music was turned down without incident. Sunday, February 8th, Grand Island Boulevard /I-190, motorist broken down. Deputies located a disabled vehicle on the side of the road. The driver ran out of gas and was waiting assistance. Monday, February 9th, Grand Island Boulevard, fraud. A bank reported a subject attempting to cash a fraudulent check. Patrol arrived on scene and arrested the subject. Tuesday, February 10th, Stony Point Road, larceny. Complainant reported $20,000 worth of jewelry was stolen from their residence. Police report and investigation ongoing. Moving on to the Lewiston Police Department. In the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th, the following activity occurred Monday, January 26th to Friday, January 30th, as reported by the Lewiston Police Department. LPD responded to 290 calls during this period. For more information on arrests and other activity, visit the Lewiston Police Department's mobile app or its page on Facebook. Monday, January 26, 4600 block of Vorum Drive, assist public. Caller reported a vehicle stuck in the front yard. Officers responded. Driver cited for driving while intoxicated and moving from a lane unsafely. Subject taken into custody and report taken. Indian Hill /Model City Roads, assist public. Officer initiated patrol stop to assist a disabled vehicle. Officer pushed vehicle back into the roadway. LPD patrol activity. Calls officer initiated. Vehicle/traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 1 driver cited with 2 uniform traffic tickets issued for Lewiston Town Court. Report taken, 1 warning issued. Tuesday, January 27th, 5300 block of Bridgman Road, assist public. 911 caller reported a 2-year-old child locked inside a vehicle, engine not running. Officers responded and were able to open vehicle and remove child. No weather-related injuries reported. 5800 block of West Street, check welfare. Caller requested an LPD check on her father. Caller said she had not heard from him in months. Patrol located male, all 10-4. Patrol unable to make contact with caller to update. 700 block of Cayuga Street, damage to property. Per dispatch, complaint reported an ATM with its screen pushed in and a camera dangling from the unit. Officers reviewed video footage. A male appeared to get angry while using the ATM and struck hard, causing damage. ATM put out of service by bank. Investigation pending. LPD patrol activity. Calls officer initiated. Vehicle/traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 8 drivers cited with 9 uniform traffic tickets issued for town court. Report taken, 7 warnings issued. Wednesday, January 28th, Washington Drive/Madison Avenue, traffic complaint investigation. Officer initiated. Patrol reported issuing 3 overnight parking violations to vehicles. 2500 block of Upper Mountain Road, suspicious activity. 911 caller reported a vehicle possibly stuck in the yard across the street and a male walking around. Driver told officers he lost control on ice and struck a mailbox. Driver cited for failure to use designated lane and aggravated unlicensed operation, 2nd degree. Uniform traffic tickets issued for town court. Vehicle towed. Driver taken by officers for treatment of frostbite as he had lost his shoes in the snow. 5400 block of Elm Drive, disturbance not domestic. 911 caller said a neighbor is harassing her brother. Ongoing issue. Patrols spoke with both parties and advised to ignore each other and not interact. Creek Road, Hillview Court, check welfare. 911 caller said a male juvenile was outside walking with just pants and a t-shirt. Patrol said the male was upset. Subject declined any assistance and was now safe at home. No further action taken. LPD patrol activity. Calls officer initiated. Vehicle/traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 2 drivers cited with uniform traffic tickets issued before town court. 5 warnings issued. Thursday, January 29th. 5900 block of Miller Road, a forgery. Officer initiated. Patrol reported handling a walk-in complaint for fraud. 4000 block of Creek Road, school campus, K-9 incident. Patrol reported LPD K-9. Shadow was requested to visit for morning announcements related to a school bus student good behavior contest. Cayuga South 9th Street, assist public. Caller reported a vehicle in the roadway. Driver cited by patrols for driving while intoxicated, operating a vehicle after having consumed alcohol under age 21, and unsafe backing. Subject taken into custody, report taken. LPD patrol activity. Calls officer initiated. Traffic vehicle stops for motor vehicle violations. 4 drivers cited with uniform traffic tickets issued for town court. Report taken. 0 warnings issued. January 30th, 4000 block of Creek Road, LPD officer, forgery. Officer initiated. Walk-in complaint for a fraud report. Bad check received. Patrol handled. Upper Mountain Road / Marywood Drive, traffic complaint investigation. 911 caller reported a white pickup truck driving recklessly. Officers located vehicle. Driver cited for failure to use designated lane and driving while intoxicated. Driver taken into custody. Report taken. Saunders Settlement Military Roads, welfare check. 911 caller reported a young male outside running in pajamas. Patrol checked area with negative results. Military Road / Big Vista Drive, vehicle traffic stop. Officer initiated. Driver cited for failure to use designated lane, driving with more than 0.08 of 1% of alcohol, and driving while intoxicated. Uniform traffic tickets issued for town court. Report taken. 4400 block of Lower River Road, animal complaint. Caller reported an injured deer from an accident. Animal dispatched. And finally, LPD patrol activity, calls officer initiated. Vehicle traffic stops for motor vehicle violations. 4 drivers cited with 8 uniform traffic tickets issued for town court. Reports taken and 1 warning issued. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. Above and Beyond, Youngstown Volunteer Fire Company celebrates 115 years, by Terry Duffy. It was a celebration of service to community and all that entails, as members of the Youngstown Volunteer Fire Company held their 115th installation Saturday, February 7th at the Fire Hall. The event included swearing-in ceremonies for the YVFC membership, including fire company officers, exempt organization officers, and ladies auxiliary officers. Fire company officers taking their oaths for 2026 were Greg Robertson Sr. as YVFC President, Gary Bowman, Vice President, Kristen Acombe, Recording Secretary, Timothy Wilkesmore, Treasurer, Nicole Quarantillo, Financial Secretary, Scott Sarsko, James Polo Jr., and James Acombe, Trustees, and Michelle Robertson and Robertson Sr. as delegates. Installed fire company line officers included Eric Weiland, YVFC Chief, Greg Quarantillo, First Assistant, James Patton, Second Assistant, John Mize, Third Assistant, Todd Muller, and Eric Bud Weiland, Captains, Donald Hermanson, Lieutenant, Wendy Shaw, Line Secretary, Suzanne Burrows, EMS Lieutenant, Timothy Fogarty, EMS Captain, Alan Reed, Fire Police Captain, Fred Wilkesmore, Fire Police Lieutenant, Fogarty, Health and Safety, Wilkesmore, Stewart, and Michelle Robertson, Chaplain. YVFC Service Award recipients recognized for active service in 2025 included Acombe, Lucas Heffler, Emily Eng, and Shaw, 5 years of service, Colin Campbell, and Donald Hermanson, 10 years, Jeff Gersitano, 20 years and life membership, and Greg Quarantillo, 25 years. Jeremy Ringvalski was recognized with 5 years of membership in the YVFC Exempts organization, with Fogarty cited for 15 years of service. Gersitano and Albert Smith, 15 years, and Frederick Gibson and Walter Mammon, 20 years. YVFC Ladies Auxiliary honorees included Christ Martineau, Michelle Ricudo, and Tanya Zastro, 10 years, Ashelia Tubinas, 15 years, and Mary Ellen Nelson, 20 years. Tributes continued as the entire fire company membership was recognized by the nonprofit Friends of Youngstown organization. Christine Rath, founder and executive chair, offered her appreciation to Nicole and Greg Quarantino and the YVFC team for its assistance in helping to promote Youngstown's recreational and historic quality of life. We wanted to personally thank the Youngstown Volunteer Fire Department for supporting the events such as the Nancy Price Memorial Run, Christmas in the Village, the Trunk or Treat, she said. Each year, the actual events continue to grow, and we're pleased to say that we've been raising significant amounts of funds to do a lot of renovations at Veterans Park, which you will start seeing some work occur by Greg and his team in the upcoming year, along with other areas throughout Youngstown. YVFC went on to honor its own as the newest members of the 100 Club were introduced. Robertson Sr. said, "We do about 500 calls a year, and we started several years ago acknowledging anyone with over 100. And for this small community and the size of our membership, that is quite a feat." Recipients included James Patton, 104 calls, Eric Bud Weiland, 105 calls, Greg Quarantillo Jr., 128 calls, Robertson, 150 calls, Eric Weiland, 159 calls, Shaw, 180 calls, Robertson Sr., 223 calls, and Burroughs, 253 calls. The highlight of the evening was recognition of Riley Reynolds as Firefighter of the Year. Reynolds, a decade-long YVFC member, has served the fire company as a past president and line officer. A former mayor of the village, Reynolds was honored as YVFC's leading responder for 2025, with 272 calls for service answered. Accepting the honor to a standing ovation by attendees, Reynolds downplayed its significance, commenting, "I was pushed to try to get to 300, but maybe this year." You're listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Continuing with the Tribune Centennial for February 20th. Upward Niagara Chamber honors community leaders. The Upward Niagara Chamber of Commerce held its annual awards celebration Thursday, February 12th at a jam-packed Brickyard Brewing Company, honoring the best of the best in our community with so many amazing local dignitaries, board members, friends, and family. This year, award recipients included Member of the Year, Niagara Gospel Mission, Award of Excellence, Whirlpool Jet Boat Tours, Distinguished Service, Fred Blue, Community Partner, Assemblyman Angelo Morinello, Emerging Business, Griffin Brewing, Chairman's Award, Hart. The evening was emceed by sports radio and podcast personalities Jeremy White and Joe DeBasey of the Jeremy and Joe Show. Honorees were thanked and presented awards by Upward Niagara Chamber President Amanda Hazley and Board Chairman Matt Villeneuve. Global icon Sarah McLachlan returning to Art Park. Three-time Grammy Award winner and global icon Sarah McLachlan announced the extension of her Better Broken tour in support of her critically acclaimed 10th studio album of the same name, released September 19th via Concord Records. McLachlan's Better Broken tour will make a stop at Art Park Main Stage Theater in Lewiston on July 14th. Special guest Allison Russell will support. The newly announced dates follow McLachlan's sold-out fall run, which spanned 9 major cities across the U.S., including Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, Chicago, Minneapolis, Seattle, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Her performance in Lewiston is presented by Live Nation and Art Park & Company. Tickets are on sale. Prices include a facility fee. Additional fees apply for online orders. Purchase at Ticketmaster.com, SarahMcLachlan.com, or artpark.net, or by phone at 716-754-4375. The tour will also offer a variety of different VIP packages, experiences for fans to take their concert experience to the next level. Packages vary, but include premium tickets, access to the McLachlan pre-show sound check, 1 autographed item, specialty design merch bundle, and more. For more information, visit vipnation.com. McLaughlin's 10th studio album and debut release for Concord Records, Better Broken, takes its title from its opening track, a soul-searching reflection on the fortitude that comes from weathering life's constant storms, and furthers her legacy with a selection of songs that speak an uncompromising but radically illuminating truth about the state of the human condition. Better Broken marks a bold new chapter for McLaughlin, injecting fresh energy into her signature lush, moody pop rock sound. Primarily recorded at the legendary Sound City Studios in Los Angeles, the album finds McLaughlin expanding her creative circle and collaborating with producers Tony Berg and Will McGlynn, alongside an exceptional group of musicians, including Wendy Melvoin, Matt Chamberlain, Benny Bach, and Greg Leiss. The result is a richly textured body of work that feels both expansive and deeply personal. Over her 3-decade career, McLaughlin has sold more than 40 million albums worldwide and earned 3 Grammy Awards and 12 Juno Awards. Beyond her music, her cultural impact includes founding Lilith Fair, the groundbreaking all-female festival that helped reshape the live music landscape. That legacy was revisited in Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, The Untold Story, which premiered at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival to critical acclaim before debuting on Hulu. The film is executive produced by Dan Levy and directed by Amy Pankew, and was noted as one of the top documentary films to watch in 2025 by the Los Angeles Times. McLaughlin's influence expands into philanthropy. She is the founder of the Sarah McLachlan School of Music, a not-for-profit providing free music education and mentorship to underserved children and youth facing barriers to access. Established in Vancouver in 2002, the school serves more than 2,000 students annually, with McLaughlin covering administrative costs to ensure fundraising directly supports students. $1 from every ticket sold on tour will be donated to the school. Continuing with the Tribune Sentinel for February 20th. A Century of Black History, UB Scholar reflects on past, present, and future of Black History Month. What began as Negro History Week in 1926 has evolved into Black History Month, now approaching its 100th anniversary. As the milestone nears, a University at Buffalo scholar is encouraging renewed reflection on the origins of the observance and the work that still lies ahead. Scholars including LaGarrett King, director of the Center for K-12 Black History and Racial Literacy Education in UB's Graduate School of Education, credit Carter G. Woodson with the creation of Negro History Week and its eventual expansion into Black History Month. Woodson's groundbreaking work made Black history visible, accessible, and integral to the nation's story, King said. His vision established a tradition of celebrating and preserving the legacies of Black people who shaped the nation. Woodson, the son of formerly enslaved parents, worked on farms and in coal mines before earning degrees in higher education. In 1912, he became only the second African American to earn a PhD in history from Harvard University. February was intentionally chosen for the observance to align with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, King said, noting that Black communities had already been commemorating Douglass since the late 19th century. Using February allowed for a seamless transition and expanded the celebration beyond college campuses to include school children and the broader public, King explained. Although the President Gerald Ford formally recognized Black History Month in 1976, King emphasized that the expansion from a week to a month was already underway years earlier in Black communities, schools, and universities. One of the earliest months-long observances took place in 1970 at Kent State University, organized by the Black United Students. While federal recognition brought national visibility, it did not create curriculum requirements. Today, Black history education varies widely across states and school districts. Educators continue to miss the mark when teaching Black history is limited to slavery, Reconstruction, and the Civil Rights Movement, King said. When instruction is disconnected from the present, students are left with fragmented understandings of how history shapes contemporary society. King noted that many educators are seeking improved approaches through organizations and resources focused on Black history instruction, including his own teaching Black history principles, which have been adopted by teachers and schools nationwide. As the 100th anniversary approaches, King said, the moment is both celebratory and instructive. I feel proud, he said. I don't know if Carter G. Woodson imagined Negro History Week growing into something this enduring, but its longevity speaks to his vision and to the determination of Black communities who sustained it. Amid ongoing political debates surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, King remains optimistic. We do not need permission to celebrate history, he said. Black History Month exists because the people created it, and it will continue as long as the people sustain it. That gives me hope, even during challenging times. You've been listening to a reading of articles and features from the February 20th issue of the Tribune Sentinel, covering Niagara County and Grand Island. We read from the Tribune Sentinel every Saturday at 4 p.m. Your reader has been Patricia. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. At 6 o'clock, we got the Wall Street Journal Off Duty, and at 7 o'clock, we got Harper's Magazine. Stay with us for these readings and more. If you or people you know shop at any of the Dash's supermarkets, please save Dash's register tapes for radio reading. Our agency receives $2 for every $100 in Dash's register tapes. Radio reading has raised thousands of dollars so far. Anyone can drop off their Dash's tapes to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service at 1199 Harlem Road, Cheektowaga, between William and Clinton Streets. Or Dash's tapes can be mailed to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service at 1199 Harlem Road, Cheektowaga, New York, 14227. Any questions on Dash's tapes for radio reading? Call us at 716-821-5555, and thanks for caring. following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability.